we're going on to eyes, which I absolutely love. And the thing with Julie, she doesn't wear eye makeup, and she's just told me she's not bothered about wearing eye makeup, which is great because she's the perfect person that I want to show. You don't have to, your eye makeup shouldn't walk into the room before you do. It's not about the eye makeup, it's about the eyes and showing off the eyes, especially as we get older. And one of the biggest things that a lot of people ask me about is how to disguise heavy lids, because without a doubt, as you get over 40, definitely over 50, when you get over 60, like me,
they're down by your boots, aren't they, Joe?
They're gone. They're down there. My mother said, when over 50, things start to drop off. I didn't know what she was talking about till I got over 50. It all
goes south, doesn't it, love?
It certainly does. But with Julie, she's got beautiful eyes anyway, so it really doesn't matter. And she's got these wonderful eyelash extensions, which I can't wear because I'd have to rip them off. It's like false nails. I just can't do it. But what we are going to do is create just into the centre of the eye here. We're going to use an eyeshadow which will actually make that part of the eye sink in. We're going to put a lighter colour below the brow, which is the reason why I've just put her through such extreme pain.
Such pain.
Look at, for the greater good, she's done this for you. And we're going to put a highlight above the lashes, but not very much because I don't want to frighten the life out of her, and I don't want her running out of fear like, I'm never going to do that, because I've got to get her cheekbones on first as well. But key to everything is eyebrows. And like I said, with Julie, she hasn't really got an awful lot of problems there. If it was me, I'd be standing here bald of face with absolutely no eyebrows whatsoever. So not the best model to show the difference of before and after, but even with Julie, we need to get that real important, the shape, the definition, because that's what your eyebrows are about. So bearing in mind what we said earlier, that's where your eyebrow should start, that's where the arch should start, and that's where it should finish. So we're actually just going to take tiny little strokes like that. Just little tiny strokes. Upwards, never across, just upwards like that. And then follow it round and follow it like that. Never try and do it in one stroke because you'll get into a real mess and you'll just look like we used to back in the day with the overarched eyebrows, where all you can see, you look permanently shocked, or, you know, one of these kind of slug eyebrow effects. So just tiny little strokes like that. And then, I don't usually bother, but I'm going to show you quickly. If you just use a brush like this, always brush them up and across like that. And that actually, again, just gives that extra little bit of definition, even if you're not wearing any eye makeup. It just gives you that youthful definition to your eye. Okay, so once more with feelings, you can't even see, I could be doing anything here, couldn't I? This could be a real laugh. I like her, so we won't do that. So once again, just tiny little strokes up to get that definition. Okay, now this is with Studio 10. And I like it because it's actually quite believable in colour, and it's pretty good for, I've got it on as well. And, you know, I'm like an albino, really. I'm sure you've seen some of my before and afters. But actually, it just is, it works. It doesn't look false. And it just, like I said, gives that definition without looking false. If you use a pencil that's too dark or too ginger, or you're going to get into a real mess. So in the grand scheme of things, I don't think you can go too wrong with that, regardless of your colour scheme. So there we are. Now we're going straight on to the eye makeup, and I'm going to be using Peaches and Creams. Now the wonderful thing about Julie is that she has got brown eyes. They could possibly get a little bit green on the outer edge, but because she's got brown eyes, the world is her hamster. She can wear what she wants. If you've got blue eyes, then you definitely Peaches and Cream. if you've got green eyes, then you're definitely Heathers and Burrows. But you, the world is your hamster.
I could do both.
You can do both.
It could be an oyster as well.
You can be an oyster. You can be anything you want.
Yeah.
Because we're big girls now, we please ourselves. The big thing is to make sure that you're actually using something that you're going to feel comfortable in. Because what I'm going to do, if I did a really glamorous makeup on Julie, which I would be very tempted to, because I think she would look amazing, she'd run out the door and I'd never see her again. So the whole idea is that you can just use these colours very, very lightly, and then if you want to, and as time goes on, you can build up and build up, the more confidence that you get. But the priority is where you put them and how the technique works. So eyes, the first thing, we're just going to use a tiny bit of just a very soft cream colour. And we're going to pop that very quickly and very easily just below the brow there. Just use a sponge applicator and it literally puts it straight on. And you can see that's the reason why I just needed to tweeze just those tiny little hairs from below the brow. All right. Now, remember what I said we were going to do? We're going to, a lot of people are asking me about how to disguise heavy lids. Now, Julie hers aren't that heavy, to be honest, but mine are. And lots of people, it's a major issue. And this is going to seem a little bit weird, but I am going to use just a very soft taupe and put it right into the centre. But before we do that, we need to also put a little bit of highlight, and we're going to pop that, just open your eyes, Julie, and look down, just above the lashes there. Now, not right across, just literally into the centre of the eye there. Now that is going to literally brighten. It's going to look very, very strong, just above the lashes. And you can see, it's like painting with numbers. You can just see where that is actually highlighting above the lashes, and that's what is going to make that stand out. Now, very important, when you start to change your makeup, and I want you all to be inspired to change completely, just, be brave, ditch all that other stuff that you've got. You need to get just a very, very soft kit, but be careful of shimmers. Don't use shimmer eyeshadow on wrinkles. Eyeliners, pencils, any harsh lines, they've got to go. You cannot get away with it as you get older. So with this, I'm literally only using powder. And the next thing I'm going to do is just use a tiny little bit of this darker powder. Now again, it's flat, no shimmer. The only shimmer that I've actually put on Julie's eyes is just above the lashes there. Now with this one, you're going to use, it's just like a pencil end to a sponge applicator. Very important that you take it from the outer edge and go forward. If you do it that way, you're going to get into a mess. You need the bulk of the colour at the corner of your eye. And like I said, we're not using pencils here. We're just literally using powder with a sponge applicator. Now, when you do this as well, just put your head down and then look up into the mirror. Can you see that? So that actually gives you that area there just to go from the outer edge and go forward. Like that. See? Again, just make sure when you're doing it, you're taking it from the outer edge and going inwards. If you went like that, again, you'd get into a mess. So, very important. Now I'm going to use a brush. And for this, I'm actually going to use one of these Studio 10 brushes, and I really like them because they're quite good at being very, very precise, and it's got a double end, so 2 for the price of 1. So we're going to use just a matte taupe, and what I want you to see is how we're going to get this part of the eye to sink back, which is the miracle bit. And the way we're going to do that is to go into the centre of the eye there, into the socket, okay? So you're going into the socket like that. And the weird thing is, you're going to brush that up to the eyebrow as well. I know, you panic it. She can't see, so we're all right. It goes up to the brow. At the side of the eye, you're going just down the side of the nose very slightly, and then you're punching it to the side. Now this actually lifts the eye up, which is really, really important. You're just going to lift it so that it goes up to there. And it's that bit that will make that part of the eye sink in, and this goes like that. This tiny bit of colour that we've got on the side, never leave it raw, but leave it until you get to this point. And the reason why you've got like two ends, which I think is quite good, when you read in the book, you'll hear me say, touch, blend. And it's literally that. You're touching with the brush, you're touching it to blend it together so that you can't see any demarcation line. Everything has to look very, very soft and natural. And that's it. Can you see the difference straight away? So it immediately takes that part of the eye into the centre. Now, I haven't done anything miraculous. It's just 4 little colours, but it really does work. So what do you think? Should we do the other side?
Yes, please.
Right. Now, we've already put the highlight below the brow, as you can see. We're going to just... And I'm going to do this one quite quickly because I've taken quite a while with that, but it's only to explain it to you that's important. So it's just so blooming easy. Again, just stick a little extra bit of that peach on there. We're going to take the darker colour just with a sponge applicator and to the outer edge. And literally, don't panic about that. Just plonk it on. Plonk it on? Is that a word? It is now. Just plonk it on. And then, if you look up for me, just take it from the outer edge to there. Now, remember, if you were doing that on yourself, you'd have to put your head down and look up into the mirror, like that, okay? Because it just makes it easier. I just want to make sure that you know what you're doing and you're able to do it yourself. Now, again, we're going to use the taupe, and we're popping that into the centre of the eye, all right? Just to there. Brush it up to the brow. And you know, the thing is, it's like smoke and mirrors. You don't even see this colour, but it's doing its job. And don't forget, you're taking it up to the outer edge like that. Okay? And then use the other side and just touch those colours together like that to make sure that you can't see where one colour starts and the next one stops. And then you've got that illusion, and the centre of the eye sinks right back, and she's got a shape.
And do they match, Jo?
They do match.
Excellent.
There's a saying in the northeast, look at her with her matching shoes. You're matching.
That's good.